The connections spanning across the Atlantic Ocean represent more than mere geography. They hold the history of daring rowers, complex political debates, and generations of family legacy. When looking back at family lineage, it is often our grandparents who provide the deepest sense of home and standard of care, anchoring us to our history long before we understand the weight of where we come from.
Grandparents ruined me so that to this day, if somebody tells me that lady's somebody's grandma, my instinct is just to go hug her. I don't care who she is. It really is. And I've gotten this thing sort of feeling like, love your mom and the daddy, you ought to. They brought you in the world, but nobody in the world can do for children, particularly for little children, what grandparents can. They kind of sprinkle stardust over the lives of little children.
The lessons and love passed down from previous generations establish the foundational values that carry us throughout our lives. Crossing the Atlantic Ocean is a formidable challenge that has tested humanity for centuries, pushing individuals to their physical and psychological limits in isolation.
I hear about this guy rowing across the Atlantic Ocean from New York City to Galway, Ireland. This is about 3,000 miles, and it took him 112 days. This makes him the first person to ever do this. And he did this all completely unsupported. His name is Damian Brown, and I am ecstatic to have him as a guest on the show.
Embarking on a solo transatlantic crossing requires immense fortitude and a willingness to face the unpredictable power of nature. For any long-distance maritime voyage, planning the journey and preparing the vessel is a critical phase where route options and safety measures are carefully calculated.
They departed Newport, Rhode Island, and have made it to Horta, which is in the Azores. That's approximately 2/3 of the way across the Atlantic, and it's a very popular place for people to stop, regardless of whether they're heading east or heading west. It's sort of 800 miles off the coast of Spain, and everybody stops there, regardless of the direction they're going.
Navigating a sailboat across vast oceanic expanses necessitates careful preparation and strategic stopovers like the Azores. Beyond physical journeys, the transatlantic connection is rich with shared literature, as stories and ideas cross the ocean to find diverse audiences.
My name is Ksenia Popovich. I'm here with my friend Sue Graham Johnston. Welcome to Transatlantic Bookmarks. So, Sue, what are you reading this week and what have you been up to?
So I have been reading The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clark.
Literature serves as a cultural bridge, allowing readers from different continents to connect over shared narratives and characters. History holds many remarkable tales of resilience and escape across the Atlantic, some of which are only rediscovered decades later.
I heard about it first when my agent sent me an email, and the casting obviously had a different title. The project name was different, and then I just Googled certain things that happened at that time, and I found out about the Emergency Rescue Committee, and I had no idea about them before. And as much as I try as much as I can to be aware of certain things, I wasn't.
Exploring these historical rescue efforts sheds light on the courage of individuals who risked everything to help others find safety. Public speeches can serve as powerful moments of connection, where speakers share their deeply personal histories to touch the lives of millions.
My door. When I was born late one afternoon, October 8th, in Greenville, South Carolina, no writers asked my mother her name. Nobody chose to write down our address. A mama was not supposed to make it. And I was not supposed to make it. You see, I was born a teenage mother.
A compelling personal narrative has the power to inspire others, transcending the boundaries of media and television. Completing a rigorous academic path requires true fortitude, especially when facing incredibly difficult global circumstances.
Achieve something remarkable. And you've done it during an incredibly difficult time. Earning a law degree from Columbia isn't easy under the best of circumstances. You've done it through lockdowns, through isolation, in a city that was loud with ambulances, then eerily quiet. You've had to forego opportunities. You haven't been able to meet new people or visit family or friends.
Celebrating educational achievements under tough conditions highlights the resilience of the graduating class. True wisdom is often simple, passed down through family guidance and a steadfast commitment to doing what is right.
He spoke to each of his 6 wives. I won't keep you long, baby. But I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about what it really takes, what it really requires for you to amplify all throughout the world, all your life, regardless of whether you stay in your community or regardless of whether you...
Holding on to foundational values from family and mentors provides a clear compass for navigating life's challenges. International institutions play a critical role in establishing a framework for global peace, security, and cooperation among nations.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor for me to be here. The United Nations is an institution that has created an identity across the globe to help the world remember that peace and security is always better than war and conflict. And identity is critical to its mission, its mandate.
Collaborative global efforts are essential for addressing historic injustices and fostering a safer, more unified world. In a rapidly changing world, the debate between opening doors and closing borders shapes the path of international relations.
By the dizzying pace of global change, some of our fellow citizens here in the United States, and we see this, of course, around the world, are questioning the merits of facing outward, of being open to the world. They worry that refugees pose a threat to their physical security and immigrants to our identity. The free trade agreements are benefiting everyone except for them.
Reevaluating our connection to the wider world is a continuous process that defines modern foreign policy. True global leadership is built on alliances, reinforcing the shared values and commitments that bind partner nations together.
But we want to lead with partners. We want to lead with the strong alliance we have with Europe. We want to reinvest and are reinvesting in the transatlantic relationship. And as you point out, President Biden's first overseas trip will be to the UK and to Brussels, Belgium. He will be engaged in conversations with NATO.
Reinvesting in transatlantic partnerships is vital for addressing complex security and economic challenges. Modern technology companies rely on advanced systems to monitor infrastructure and automate operations in complex cloud environments.
Is a large and growing software company providing an AI-powered all-in-one observability and security platform for cloud environments. It enables organizations to monitor applications, microservices, and IT infrastructure using causal AI to automate DevSecOps, that's development, security, and operations, troubleshoot, and optimize performance.
Harnessing AI-powered platforms allows organizations to optimize performance and secure their digital systems. Official state visits provide an opportunity to reaffirm respect and address key geopolitical and economic challenges together.
No question about that. It is a measure of the respect that the United States considers Germany and Angela Merkel, that she has become the first EU leader to visit the United States since Joe Biden took office. But it comes at a really important time, because there's no doubt that the Trump years were filled with rancor, and certainly on the part of Angela Merkel, a degree of contempt towards.
Maintaining strong communication between nations is essential for navigating shared global responsibilities. Ambitious trade partnerships are designed to support small and medium enterprises, which form the backbone of the economy.
Focus today is how an ambitious TTIP agreement could particularly benefit the small and medium enterprises that form the backbone of the American and European economies. And you can listen from my accent, I'm European, while also being the job-creating engines for which have produced over 2/3 of all job creation on both sides of the Atlantic over the last decade. The Atlantic
Streamlining international commerce can create significant job opportunities and foster economic growth. National security requires substantial commitment and investment, moving beyond moral agreements to concrete financial contribution.
Said finally the Germans understand that freedom doesn't come without costs. You have to invest, and not only on a moral level, but really with money. You have to contribute, you have to step up to your own security interests. And let me add that I think that way too long Germany has done two things wrongly. First,
active participation in mutual defense is necessary for securing peace and stability within the global community. Fighting organized crime and international threats requires a partnership built on trust, data protection, and ethical standards.
In other words, we need rules governing the protection of the information that's collected. Data protection must not mean holding such information for an indefinite period of time. Neither can it mean handing out the information to people who have nothing to do with security matters.
Enforcing human rights conventions remains a cornerstone of robust international legal frameworks. The longest-standing alliances in history have weathered numerous disagreements, remaining unified under the surface despite differences in rhetoric.
Facing the longest-standing, most successful alliance in our history. And we saw firsthand in London and felt that it sort of exemplified the dynamics that we see in place in the transatlantic relationship that we'll talk about today. Sure, words matter, rhetoric matters for member states and for our leaders, and that can be concerning. We heard a lot of that. But I also want to say that we saw beneath the surface that our alliance looks better.
Treating partner nations as a family allows alliances to withstand testing and emerge stronger. It is easy to take a stable nation for granted, yet the structures that protect our freedom are as delicate as a Fabergé.
Zimbabwe. And Leslie came here over 30 years ago from a little Jewish community called Bulawayo in Zimbabwe. Very successful investment banker. But Leslie had said to me one day, you know, Tom, you Americans kick around your country like it's a football, but it's not a football. It's a Fabergé egg. You can drop it and you can break it.
Appreciating the fragile nature of democratic norms encourages citizens to treat their country with care. Amidst serious historical and global narratives, personal conversations and everyday humor bring a sense of shared humanity.
I walk upstairs to use the bathroom and I open up the toilet lid and I see a monstrosity, and it was like
tire marks.
It was offensively graphic is what I saw, and that's the only way I have no choice but to describe it like that. And so I text the group chat a picture of it to Gabby, and I go, Gabby, ... come on, dude. And then she was like, that wasn't me. And I'm like, oh yeah, was it Kate? Was it Kate? No, it was you. And then Kate goes, oh shit, no, that wasn't Gabby.
Sharing lighthearted, candid moments keeps us grounded in the realities of our daily lives. Historic events often challenge societal tendencies toward pacifism, forcing governments to make bold international decisions.
Solidarity towards the United States of America, but led Germany into a war far beyond European borders. That never happened before. We had Christian governments, Christian conservative governments before, but even they didn't dare to do that. So it was a breakup with say neutralist or even pacifist tendencies in German society after the Second World War.
Navigating public opinion during crises is a complex task for any democratic leadership. Negotiations between sovereign powers often center on the balance between national laws and access to integrated markets.
sides. Number one is fish. It was a very fishy dinner, turbot for main course. Scallops for starters. If you think about the scallop wars in the English channels between the British and French fishing communities, quite a pointed dinner, I think, and all sorts of dreadful jokes on social media about turbocharging the talks and so on and so forth. But
finding room for political compromise is difficult but necessary to avoid major economic ruptures. Exploring the history of economic colonization in developing nations sheds light on the complex legacy of international corporate systems.
Perkins is an American author. He's best known for his book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, 2004, which was a big hit, in which Perkins claims he had played a role in an alleged process of economic colonization of third world countries on behalf of what he portrays as a cabal of corporations, banks in the United States of America.
Critically assessing the impact of economic policies on the third world is vital for understanding modern global dynamics. Behind the scenes of public life, individuals navigate the physical toll of late nights and the simple value of letting go with friends.
That's what I am. I have socks on my hands right now. Guys, let's just get right into this.
Acknowledging our physical vulnerabilities and sharing honest reflections makes public platforms more relatable. Modern platforms provide real-time connection with audiences, where comments and feedback allow creators to refine their message.
I guess we dive in, right?
Yeah.
There's some comments. As usual, we want to start with your comments. If you're not a fan of this part, fast forward. I mean, it's, on YouTube, it shows, it breaks down everything.
What do you mean?
Leveraging interactive digital tools makes public communication more responsive to community input. Crafting beautiful garment designs and sharing creative patterns connects artists with passionate communities worldwide.
Welcome to the Fruity Knitting Podcast. This is episode 41. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Andrea.
We've got a lot of great guests coming up on the show today.
Yes, our main interview is with Caitlin Hunter, who only started publishing knitting patterns in March of last year. But already her garment designs are very popular and she's fast becoming recognised as a really exciting designer. You're also going to meet Eleanor, who is our Russian guest on Knitters of the World. And new releases will feature a pattern by Valerie Hobb.
Creative pursuits serve as a quiet, powerful way to build connection and share expertise across borders. Dedicated select committees play a key role in analyzing foreign affairs and determining policy goals within the legislature.
Affairs Select Committee of the UK House of Commons. They discussed MP Kern's early political influences, including President Reagan, her work at the Ministry of Defense, and her role as the first woman to chair the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, and its subsequent policy goals.
Well, hello and welcome to Reaganism. I am your guest host, Rachel Hoff, Policy Director here at the Ronald Reagan Institute.
Understanding the inner workings of parliamentary bodies provides valuable insight into democratic governance. Growing up in a close-knit board or community shapes one's perspective on culture, music, and local connections.
Like you guys came in, you played the basement in Toronto.
In Toronto, that was your place?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You guys have the video when you guys played that basement.
Yeah,
that was in
that
the
was a good
basement
show.
of my It was a great show.
Yeah. Money Mark. Yeah, we were just talking about that. I just watched the Tyson.
Our early environment lays the groundwork for the professional paths and creative journeys we choose. Dedicated public service and national security advisory roles requires a deep understanding of diplomatic history and administration.
Served in the Obama administration as the Principal Deputy National Security Advisor, and before that in the Obama administration as the National Security Advisor to Vice President Joe Biden. But his public service actually goes back to the Clinton administration, when he served in a number of senior positions.
Navigating complex governmental portfolios is a challenging yet rewarding path of public service. In the midst of pain and systemic struggles, finding the strength to keep moving forward is a testament to human resilience.
And then I had to pull over and just think about the fact that in the midst of this ugliness and barbarity, in the midst of this pain and suffering, God could still keep me. And because he kept me, I was able.
Reflecting on difficult experiences allows us to find hope and continue serving our communities. The transatlantic connection is built on both formal diplomacy and private lives, linking individuals through a shared history of struggle and achievement.